Hey guys, Yana here, coming at you for some nightly reflections on this beautiful Wednesday night. It is Wednesday, isn't it? I'm going to give a few minutes for people to join us. As always, really happy to be here, really happy to be with all of you. Yeah, it's been a day, it's been a good day. Productive day, a lot of calls, a lot of connections, a lot of gratitude in my heart and in my life. How's everyone doing there tonight? All the viewers on this Facebook Live feed. I see folks joining. How are you guys doing? Yeah, no comments. Yeah, today's been a good day. I was listening to a motivational video. I often listen to soundtracks or motivational compilations, and it got me really amped. I was thinking about gratitude, right? I talk about living in gratitude. It's really important for me to remember the things that make me me, right? That contribute to my life, that add value to my life. And those are the things I'm grateful for. A friend of mine, we were talking about something, and he referenced a person. He said they're a seeker, and I could really get down with that. And today, as I was thinking about it, it made me really grateful that I am a seeker, a seeker of growth, a seeker of connection, a seeker of self-development. And I'm really grateful for the willingness to want to do better, to want to learn, to want to grow in my spiritual life, in my connection with others, in my relationship, my own personal growth. Motivation is something I'm really grateful for also. I wasn't always very motivated, if at all, and now I get so excited about new experiences and new opportunities, and I get excited about challenges. So I'm really grateful to have that zest for life, that zest for growth, the zest for seeking purpose and meaning, and seeking fun, right? Wanting to bring positive, healthy, fun things into my life, wanting to add to me and to my life as opposed to take away by surrounding myself with negative energy, negative people, all about mindset. If I live in gratitude, if I think about the things that have been gifts in my life, right? If I think about all the good in me, in others, in the world, then I'm not living in that dark, negative place in my mind. I think I mentioned it yesterday, talking about live by faith and not by sight. If I look around and all I see is pain, that's going to affect how I view the world. I'm going to view the world with a negative lens. But having faith in the world, in other people, lets me see and opens my eyes up to this beautiful, incredible life and world, right? There's good in us, and I believe that at my core. So self-development, I'm so excited for new opportunities. I'm so excited for new experiences. I've been thinking a lot about, as we're in the midst of such a crisis, of such a pandemic, what can I be doing more of? How can I contribute to the solution, contribute to other people's lives? And I never used to get fired up about those things before I entered recovery. I didn't get fired up about helping people. I didn't get fired up about contributing. It was so much more about my misery and my darkness and my lack of satisfaction. I'm so grateful to have that drive, to have that love for the world, for other people, for myself. Those are such gifts. There's such gifts today. And so when I was listening to this motivational compilation today, one of the things that the person was talking about. And I'm not sure their name, but if you're interested in it, shoot me a message and I'll share with you the track or the compilation I was listening to. And he talked about if we're not growing, if we're not seeking, then we're dying. And we're going backwards. Life is about growth. Staying stagnant is really taking steps backwards oftentimes. I'm not okay with the status quo. The accepting the status quo for me is lowering my expectations for myself and for my life. And I don't mean growth in terms of financial. I don't mean growth in terms of, material things. I'm talking about internal growth, spiritual growth, self-worth and self-esteem. If I don't continue to grow, then I'm settling for a life that's below what I deserve, below my expectations, So that was a really powerful thing to hear. And it really got me so fired up. There's so many opportunities for all of us to connect. There are so many opportunities for us to give back, even today, from a distance in a safe way. I always talk about checking on other people, right? Making sure our neighbors, our family members, our friends are safe. They have what they need, right? Kind of a shift in mindset, that victim mentality versus an empowered mentality. What can I do? What do I have to offer? And the gift is that we all have so much to offer other people. We're not victims in this. We're not being held down and forced to stay indoors. We are being responsible. We are taking the responsible action to ensure the safety of others. Just a reframe, a shift in perspective. It is really empowering and gives me power, right? I have power over my choices. I can choose to stay in and suffer and think I'm being punished, or I can choose to see this as taking responsibility, taking action to be part of the solution, be part of the greater good, right? Ensuring that other people are safe. And I see a lot of really cool things about people giving back, delivering food, and not necessarily like going and seeing people, right? But dropping something off on their doorstep, whether it's sandwiches or needs or going to the store for someone. If someone's quarantined, they can't get out of the house. Well, if I have a car or I have the ability to help them, that's something that's really fulfilling for me. And those are the little steps that I can take to grow, right? It's all about self-development. If I've heard this said a lot of times in different kind of settings. If I want to have healthy or improve my self-esteem, I have to do esteemable things. If I'm hiding out and I'm being negative and I'm falling into old patterns of coping, then I'm not building myself up. I'm not contributing to my growth and to my life. I'm not seeking something more for myself. I love all the incredible readings that we've been having, or all the incredible Facebook Live posts from Chelsea and Kirsten, Brian Quinn, Lisa, John. We all have such incredible things to offer, right? We're all unique in our own ways, and we all bring these really wonderful gifts to the table. And I love listening to those guys. They drive me, they motivate me. Everyone that's on here sharing their story, you guys motivate me. That's what community is about. That's what connection is about. Our greatest asset is our story and our experiences. And when we share that with the world, we're sharing hope. But not only are we sharing hope, we're opening up a window of opportunity for someone to hear that message and to feel connection. We've had a number of people reach out to us and say, hey, like I really connected with whatever the meditation was or whatever the thing that we did was, and it helped me. By sharing our stories, we're opening up that window for people to reach out, to come to us, and to share with us, how we've maybe helped them grow, right? So it's just a really really important to make sure we continue to use our voices. And in thinking about the current pandemic and everything that's going on in the world, I think it's important to look at those that have substance use disorder, and those that are living in poverty, and those that have been historically marginalized. And now, more than ever, it's so important to empower that voice, to empower those people's voices, because addiction doesn't take breaks. Just because there's a pandemic doesn't mean that substance use disorder is going to fall by the wayside, that we don't need help, we don't need services. If anything, we need more support and more services, because people are isolated. I'm really grateful that I have a phone and that I have internet and I'm able to log on and be with you guys. But there are people out there that don't have internet or don't have Wi-Fi and don't have a phone. How do we reach them? How do we connect with them as opposed to just ignore the problem, right? So that's where our voice is going to be really important in these coming days, weeks, months. We have to continue to advocate. We have to set a precedence that those at risk, those in need, those with substance use disorder are no less deserving. We are worthy. We are important. We need help. We need support. All those same things we needed before the pandemic, we need them and more of them. So how do we set the stage for that? How do we ensure that our community and our people are taken care of? That is going to be really important for us to focus on as we move forward in our days. It's one thing when we've made tremendous growth, right? We've leaps and bounds from where we were before in terms of spreading awareness, in terms of stigma, in terms of education. But we can't go back now. We can't fall back. We have to continue to grow, right? Continue to seek, continue to empower, continue to strengthen those relationships, strengthen our community. And our voice is going to be instrumental in that. And that is how we continue to get that message across. Because you're not hearing as much about the addiction epidemic. And appropriately so, we have a pandemic. However, it doesn't mean that the addiction epidemic is not in need of a ton of attention. And we have to be really thoughtful. And again, I'm going to ask for your feedback and your input. I need help from you guys. We need help from you guys. How do we strengthen our voice? How do we continue to keep substance use disorder and the addiction epidemic at the forefront? How do we continue to increase awareness, right? To spread hope of recovery, to reach those folks that we may not be reaching in traditional ways. What about those people on the street that don't have a phone, that can't connect to Facebook? How do we reach them? What can we do more? Or what could we do more of? So I want to hear from you guys. Comment, email, message. We need your voice to make sure that we continue to support, nurture, cultivate, and build our community. And when we're going through this stuff, times get tough, right? It could be heavy, it could be challenging. We feel helpless, we feel powerless. So what are you doing for you today? What self-care practices are you incorporating in your life today to help you get through the day and into tomorrow? We talk about self-care, and oftentimes people roll their eyes like, oh, what's self-care? Someone asked me about a work-life balance today, and I was like, not really sure what you're asking for. But really, it's very important, because if I'm not well, if I'm not taking care of myself, I can't offer to others what I would normally be able to offer, right? If I have nothing to give, if I'm not being sincere, if I'm not being genuine, then I'm being inauthentic. And I worked way too hard to get to where I am to be inauthentic. So How are you doing with your nutrition? Are you eating regularly? Are you sleeping regularly? Are you staying hydrated? Chris Salvatore, this one's for you. What is your schedule like? Do you have structure? Or do you sleep in until you need to get up, or you want to get up and not sure and kind of mope around? How do we create structure? How do we get to a place of more ease, right? Because without structure, it's easy to get lost. It's easy to kind of float around, spin around, not be intentional in our thoughts and our actions. And just because we're home, and just because we're on quarantine, or just because there's social distancing, doesn't mean that we don't need structure, and we can't be intentional in our actions, right? So things like, I challenge you to, or I offer up, set your alarm the same time you would normally get up for work, or whatever time you choose. Set your alarm, get a routine. If you need to write it down on, with a dry erase marker on your mirror, on your fridge, on a cork board, which I know Lisa and Chelsea absolutely love cork boards, dry erase board, whatever. Write down your schedule. You wake up, you get up, you make your bed, you take a shower, you eat breakfast, whatever is true for you, whatever is going to help you, whatever's going to work for you. And then maybe you take a walk and you build that into your routine, and you build that into your strategy. Build a self-care activity, at least one a day, if not more, into that routine. We're so much better when there's focus and when there's purpose, So I know for me, if I don't have an intention for the day, if I'm not sure, right, or if I get off track because I'm very distractible. So it's really important to bring myself back. And I talked before about writing things down or having a list, because when I've fallen off track, or I got distracted, or I'm not sure what I'm doing, I could look at this list and say, oh, here I am. Here's my schedule. This is what I need to do to stay on track and just feel productive, even if it's cleaning out your closet, which I really have to do, but I'm pushing it off. Cleaning out your closet, going through your clothes. Hey, this is a great time to go through your clothes. There are a lot of people out there that might need clothes, so you have clothes to donate. What better time than now, right? And then to go through your stuff. But really be intentional as you go through your day. So that would be my ask of you for the rest of the evening, is to create a structured plan. Create a time for when you wake up. Write out those little things that you're going to do tomorrow, and keep yourself accountable to that plan. An accountability buddy, right? Find someone that you could connect with, that you can talk to around your plan, so they could keep you accountable. Because it's one thing to make a plan, and it's like step 2 to follow it, right? So set a time to wake up, set a time to do what you need to do. Make sure you're eating. Really check in and tune in with yourself and listen to your body. How are you doing with nutrition, right? How are you doing with hydration? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting exercise, right? Whether it's at home or going outside, you could go for a walk. You could go to the park, as long as you maintain safe distance, 6 to 10 feet away from people. Don't be shaking hands, even giving knuckles isn't ideal because you're still touching people. Stop touching people. Kirsten frisbees are a no-go. We'll talk about that offline. But get out there. Make sure your immediate needs are being met. If you need help, if you aren't able to find ways to meet your immediate needs, food, shelter, basic things. If you're struggling to get to the store to get whatever it is you need, reach out to us. It's not kind of our traditional ROCovery programming, but we're here to help, right? We want to be able to support you in whatever way you need. We want to be here to hold your hand through this process and through this journey. We want to see you grow. And I really challenge you to seek more out of life, not to settle, not to fall back into old habits, but continue to grow, continue to work on self-development. It's such a gift. We are so lucky. We are so lucky here with all the opportunities and the things that we have at our very fingertips. And keep those people that aren't as lucky, that don't have all the things that you do, that don't have internet or phone, or not able to connect on Facebook Live or Zoom meetings or FaceTime or whatever it is. Let's get creative. How do we reach those people? How do we connect with the folks that are kind of left alone, right? For a long time, those with substance use disorders were the forgotten. We were the throwaways, and we are not that anymore. And we refuse to be throwaways or looked at differently. We are those that have a chronic health condition, a treatable condition. We do recover. We recover together, So how do we use our recovery? How do we use our experiences to help others? So I challenge you to think about those things. Think outside of the box. Think about ways we can reach more people. We could spread more hope. We could empower more voices. Because I think today's been a beautiful day. I think tomorrow's going to be a great day too. And that's the kind of mindset I choose to go into the day with. Because if I wake up and I say, oh, this is going to suck another day, that's going to set the tone for the rest of my day. And I have the power to choose, right? I have the power of choice over myself. So I choose to live in gratitude. I choose to start the day by saying it's going to be a great day. Brian Quinn has some great meditations about mindfulness and mantras, right? I am happy. I am well. I am free. And I challenge you to start your day with a positive mantra, right? So what are the take-homes or takeaways? And what are your homework assignments? Create a structure plan. Make sure your nutrition, your hydration, your sleep, your exercise is where it needs to be. Think about innovative ways to reach those that we aren't reaching. Think about ways to strengthen our united voice, to empower those around us, and to make sure that the addiction epidemic continues to stay at the forefront. We will not settle for anything but the best of care, the best of treatment. We deserve respect. We're respectable people. We do great things. We are no different than anyone else. We're mothers and fathers and children and sisters and brothers. We're your mailman. We're your bank teller, law enforcement, right? Your politicians. We're everywhere. And we refuse to be treated as anything less than that. So reach out, tune in. We have always a great schedule planned for you guys. Let us know how we're doing. Send us feedback. Our phone number, the ROCovery line gets checked. It's 585-484-0234. Give us a call. Leave a message. If it's an emergency, obviously call 911. If it's an urgent matter, there's a phone number for you to call on the recording. Let us know how we could help. Let us know how we could best meet your needs, how we could continue to spread hope, awareness, support you, help you grow, help you to seek. That's my favorite thing. And make the best out of whatever situation we're facing. Right? Recovery is possible. Recovery from addiction, recovery from this pandemic, recovery from mental illness, from eating disorder, from gambling disorders, sex addiction, recovery from the human condition, right? All those things are possible. You're not alone in your struggles. You're never alone in your struggles. We are always here to help. So don't hesitate. I love you guys. I'm really looking forward to another beautiful day and to catch up with you tomorrow. All right, that's it. I'm out. Bye.